Southern Alberta is known for its valuable crops like grains and vegetables, but did you know that hemp is also produced here? It's a versatile product, and as the industry grows, it has the potential to create so much value for us here in Southern Alberta, from an alternative to plastics, durable fabrics, and even helping to keep food fresher longer. Who knew? Joining me to talk about this amazing plant is Darren Bondar of Hemp Alta. Darren, welcome to the show. So great to have you on.
Thanks for having me. Very excited to be here and appreciate it.
Absolutely. Okay, so now, Darren, first off, just to clear some things up for people who maybe aren't very familiar with hemp, or for those who hear the word and automatically think cannabis. So can you explain how the hemp plant and the plant that marijuana comes from are different?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I know both because before I was in the hemp business, I was in the recreational cannabis business, and ultimately, yeah, it comes from the same plant, the cannabis sativa plant. The essential difference is that hemp has below 0.3% THC, so it doesn't have any psychoactive effects. And that's why we were able to use it for industrial purposes.
So cool. Okay, so let's get right into this. How did your company get started?
Well, after we had Spirit Leaf, which was a chain of recreational cannabis stores, which across Canada, which we sold last year to sundial growers. I really kind of had some foresight into the plant and the product itself, the hemp plant itself. That not only can it be used for intoxicating effects, which everybody's familiar with, but there's a huge opportunity in industrial hemp. And so I was doing a lot of research into seeing, which avenue we could take, and found this really cool processing plant right in Calgary, and kind of fit all the boxes for what we want to do for a company. It's sustainable, really helping with the ESG mandates that are out there, and just kind of fit right into my background.
Awesome. So maybe give us an idea of how many industries could possibly benefit from the hemp grown in Southern Alberta.
Yeah, I mean, hemp can be used in actually over about 25,000 different products. So everything from construction to pet to gardening. There's really just endless uses. So for us, it's just been kind of focusing on where we want to be as a company, and how we can educate the public about all the benefits of hemp and where it can be used, from our perspective, more consumer packaged goods than necessarily on big industrial applications.
Okay, so what kind of products can be made out of hemp? What do you guys make?
Well, our marquee product is called the Hemp Fresco, and it's really innovative in the sense that we sell it in kind of three hemp filled pads, and you put these in your you put these in your fridge, in your vegetable drawer, your fruit crisper, and also in your fruit bowl. And all households can relate at the cost of food being expensive, and and sometimes buy in bulk, and then you just start throwing out a ton of produce. The average family home, I think, throws out about $1,800 a year in wasted food. And what our hemp-based food preservation pads do is they actually extend the food, your fruit and vegetable life longer, and keeps your food fresher, sometimes up to 30 days. It just absorbs all the gas and all the moisture that builds up in these crisper drawers, and through the natural strength and properties of hemp, we're able to save customers money.
That is absolutely amazing. Now, could there be commercial applications for restaurants with this product as
Yeah,
well as
for sure.
households?
Even for grocery stores, for restaurants that also have big food waste problem, this definitely helps them preserve their food for a longer period of time. We call those the super frescoes.
Okay, awesome. Now, which part of the plant would this be? Is this from the stem, or like is
Yeah,
it?
it's a great question. It is from the stem. So, like the way that the challenge and the opportunity that we saw is hemp is traditionally grown for the hemp parts, the proteins, that you might have in a smoothie, and people are familiar with hemp bark being used as a good source of protein. But after that, the farmers are really stuck with all the big bales. So if you're driving through southern Alberta, you'll see thousands and thousands of these hemp bales sitting on farmers' fields, and nobody really knows what to do with them. So the technology that we have, which we purchased from another Alberta company called Canadian Greenfield Technology, actually is able to separate the hemp stalk and the fiber into usable products products. So we get 5 different outputs. And what we use to answer your question is the hemp hurd, the core and inner stalk of the fiber, essentially, of the fiber product to make a lot of our products.
Isn't that amazing? Okay, so you work with and you study this product every day. So, what do you see as the future possibilities for products made out of hemp? It almost sounds like the sky's the limit.
Yeah, I mean, the possibilities are really endless, and as you know, as we hear every day, we need to make big changes to sustain the climate and really the planet. So we're doing everything from hemp bedding to cat litter to the food preservation paths to soil amendments. So we're really focused on the consumer good aspects, at least Hemp Alta is. But yeah, there's lots of different industrial applications. We can do hemp wood, hemp insulation, just a lot of products that can be made out of the natural properties and strengths of hemp that aren't chemical based. And like hemp insulation is a really great example and something we can make instead of putting pink insulation into your homes, which are petrol based, and then you breathe it for the next 40 to 50 years. You can use hemp, which is all natural, and it still has the same properties, keeps your house warm or cool, and all natural, straight from a plant. So there's really 25,000 plus different uses, and yeah, it's really just kind of getting more processing capacity out there and educating the public about the endless possibilities.
Amazing. Now, so, Darren, on the processor side, obviously there seems to be so many opportunities. So, I know recently we interviewed someone who builds electric motorcycles, and the body panels for the bikes are made out of hemp. So,
Yeah.
what kind of equipment would your factory need to create body panels or even shipping crates for that matter?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we've taken one step where we can separate the hemp stream into all of these different byproducts. But then to formulate things like, as you say, like car panels is really popular. It does take another couple of steps, and there's a lot of innovation in Alberta that's being worked on for the last 20 plus years since hemp became legalized in Canada. And now it's really up to the entrepreneurs and to kind of take this great science and this great engineering that's being developed and help commercializing it and bring it to market. So there's still some steps that need to be taken, but I think Canada still has an opportunity to be a leader. It needs to catch up with Europe a little bit, who's a little bit more advanced, but Alberta is definitely a hotbed for it, and the opportunity is there.
What kind of hemp-related research and development are you currently seeing in Canada?
Yeah, well, right in Alberta, Vegreville is really the hub of hemp research through Initech Alberta, and so when I jumped back into the hemp business this time on the industrial side, what I saw was all of this great innovation and lots of scientists and lots of engineers who've developed some very cool products like the ones I previously discussed. So now it's really, I think, just bringing these products to market and getting them commercialized.
Can you give us an idea maybe of how much hemp is actually grown here in Alberta?
I believe in Alberta, well, in Canada alone, the last statistics I think are from 2020, and there were 20,000 hectares, and Alberta was responsible for growing 8,000 of those hectares. So Alberta is a great climate for growing hemp, specifically, obviously in the grow season from May to October, but it's a very hardy plant. Soils farmers like it because it helps regenerate their soil, so it's very good for farmers to grow. They've got a captive market for hemp hearts, which is the seed. And now that there's some processors like us, Hemp Alta, we're one of the only, we're able to kind of what we call full plant utilization. So we're able to provide those farmers with an additional source of revenue. These big bales will no longer be sitting on their field looking to be, just compost or burned. And we're able to turn those into more commercial products. So I think there's a really great opportunity in Alberta. We hope to kind of fill that gap. We've started in a small way. And, as consumers adopt our products, I'm sure we'll be able to scale to a pretty significant size.
So, what would it take for more farmers in southern Alberta to start growing it?
Well, they just need a market for the seeds. So I think pretty much all the seeds are being grown. I think farmers know that are being bought anyway, and I think farmers know the benefit of growing hemp, as I just talked about. It's very important to regenerate their soil without chemicals. and stuff. It's a weed, right? So it is actually quite good for their soil. And now that they have the opportunity to sell the whole stock, and we have this full plant utilization, I think we're heading in the right direction, and more farmers will adopt as long as there's demand.
Awesome. Now, Darren, in your opinion, how much more dollar value could hemp actually bring to the Alberta economy and Alberta family farms?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a $1 billion opportunity in Alberta, and we've got a really great start to it, and I think it progressed. The Alberta Hemp Association is really active, and as is the Canadian Hemp Association. So it's really just education, consumer adoption, and I think the next 2 to 3 years are going to be really strong for industrial hemp as it kind of separates itself from the intoxication plant, and people realize the benefits that this regenerative crop can have.
It's amazing. Now, is it better suited to be grown in open fields or more like in greenhouse growing?
Yeah, industrial hemp is really designed for open fields.
Okay.
It does extremely well in natural soil. It grows really fast and really tall, and so yeah, it's economical to grow, and yeah, it does not need to be grown in a greenhouse, which is, I think, better suited more for for the intoxicating plant, the cannabis plant.
So it sounds like it's a really hardy plant then. It can
Yeah,
withstand a
very
lot.
hardy, can withstand pretty hefty conditions, even some frost, and still have great value to it, and generate.
Yeah. Okay. So if that's the case, if it's so hardy and it's easy to plant and whatnot, why are we not seeing more products out of hemp being developed here in Canada?
Yeah, it's a good question. Really, I mean, you're seeing a lot of food products on the market. I don't think there's any shortage of that. The gap has been in the processing of the fiber once it's been processed for seed. And it's basically 100-year-old method of processing. It was just not, you had to beat it, and you really couldn't get the structural integrity out of the plant. But with this new technology that we have, that's kind of filling that gap of being able to process the full plant and then turning it into things that we've talked about, turning it into car panels and clothing and all those other elements. So I think as more processors like ourselves come on board, and as we're able to scale, you're going to see a lot more.
Okay. How old is your company, too, by the way?
Well, Canadian Greenfield Technologies built this hemp train, which is the system. So they were at it for about the last 4 or 5 years. We bought the prototype plant in January, so we're really only 8 or 9 months old. We're starting to get a lot of product out into the market, but we certainly have a lot of runway ahead.
You'd mentioned before that you were more on the CBC, the CD seed side of it, the cannabis, and you switched over. Is it because you think that it's just a better opportunity in terms of it's just going to explode?
Well, it's a different opportunity than it was for sure. Recreational cannabis, is its own thing. But what I really liked about the industrial hemp is, one, it's good for the environment. Two, everybody can use it. Three, we're completely not regulated in Canada, which is great. So it just allows us to share the benefits of the hemp plant, the cannabis plant, if you will, with the mass consumers without the stigma of getting high. So I like I like the environmental impact that we can have, and just the good that we can do with it.
So, Darren, we were talking about industrial products made from hemp earlier. I understand that Henry Ford, of course, wanted to make body panels, so the car body panels out of hemp, and you'd mentioned that earlier, that it's a great opportunity for hemp. So can you tell us what uses hemp had before its competing industries had hemp banned?
Yeah, it's a really great question. I think what happened with hemp and why it isn't more at the forefront today is that it became part of it became banned in the 1930s as part of the Drug Act.
It was like a
So
stigma
all
around it.
Exactly. So all the progress that had been made and all the foresight that guys like Henry Ford had were really stunted. So in 2018, when the U.S. Legalized industrial hemp as part of the Farm Bill, I think people are starting to realize that there's a lot of opportunity. It got really focused on CBD and all of those benefits. But there's all these industrial applications that are now starting to emerge, and the hemp industry is starting to bloom again. With the change to the Farm Bill, and Canada's had a huge head start. We've been legal here since the late '90s, so I think we just got to kind of keep moving forward, educating consumers, and getting a lot of these great innovations out to market in a mass scale.
I know I learned a lot from you, so thank you so much for that. I had no idea it was such a natural and such a hardy product that could be used in almost anything. It's amazing.
Yeah, great. Well, appreciate it. And anything we can do to help. If you want to learn more, hempalta.com. We've got tons of information.
Sounds great. Thanks so much for your time today, Darren. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it too.
Absolutely. Darren Bondar is the CEO of Hemp Alta out of Calgary. I'm Jeanette Roche on behalf of all of us here at Bridge City News. Thanks for watching.